They're the Combini Boys. They're the Combini Boys. They're the Combini Boys.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Well, Mike, it was going well before we started talking about the impending doom of the metaverse and the impossible price of housing in America, but let's talk about some good stuff, Mike. I got high last night and listened to the Rod Stewart Essentials playlist on Apple Music. And Mike, how come nobody ever told me Rod Stewart is awesome? How good is you knew about this?
Yeah, Rob Stewart. He's awesome. Yeah.
Do you say Rob Stewart? I'm talking
No,
about
Rod
Stewart.
Yeah, I know Rod Stewart, of course. Yeah, he's awesome.
I was listening to this playlist, and I was like, oh my god, Rod Stewart has written like every rock and roll hit of all time.
That's true.
He's awesome. Maggie May.
Maggie May.
What
Oh,
a
yeah.
song. That's a song right there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
I was having a great time last night. Feeling a little high, listening to some Rod Stewart. Everybody check out Rod Stewart.
Yeah, man.
How are things with you in Toyama?
Things are good. Let's see what's going on this week. Working on my shop. I was telling you about. She's getting that ready. Hoping to release, open up beginning of July. So that's been really fun. We went to Hamazushi last night for a little family. 100 yen sushi.
Awesome.
Which was great. I just drank a bunch of Nama beer. And, as good as it gets.
Sushi?
Conveyor belt sushi. Oh, yeah.
Love it. Nice.
Yep. But besides that, just getting warmer over here, and things are all right.
All right. Well, as usual, Mike, we got a lot to talk about this week.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say we hop right into the Conbini action?
Let's do it.
All right. So we're gonna kick things off here, Mike. We got a matcha campaign coming out of Lawson here.
Yes,
This is their Uchi Cafe series. Matcha, for those unfamiliar, it's a powdered green tea. It's got a bright green color. I think everybody knows because it's pretty popular even here in America. But Mike, wow, look at these things. These emerald green. These things look like a North English country field, Mike. I mean, the greenest green you've ever seen in a Mont Blanc or a croissant. I especially like the croissant, which has only half of the croissant coated in matcha. I gotta believe that's I don't know. And then it's stuffed with some kind of matcha cream as well. Mike, they got an anpan, red bean paste with a matcha cream with a matcha puff dough. They have a matcha roll cake with a matcha cream in the middle. I've already mentioned the Mont Blanc. And then they have a dorayaki, which is stuffed with whipped cream and matcha. And Mike, they've paired up with an ancient matcha tea shop out of Uji, Kyoto called Morihan. I googled them, Mike. They don't even have a website. Founded in 1836. They've not yet entered the digital era. And the closest they have, Mike, is a Rakuten site. And,
Okay.
Holy damn holy.
Look at that. Oh, my God. 2,000 yen off, 1,000 yen off, 500 yen off, everything.
Come to Rakuten for a Mother's Day gift and leave with an anxiety disorder. Rakuten, Mike, for those who aren't aware, it's Japan's most popular e-commerce page. This thing looks like Netflix on crystal meth. More links and options to click than you can swing a dead cat at. I don't think that's the expression, actually. But anyway, that's the big campaign coming out of Lawson, Mike, the Matcha Uchi series campaign. I think it looks delicious, and it looks genuinely beautiful.
Yes, it does. Yeah, matcha. Are you? By the way, are you a big matcha guy? Would you say you're a matcha man?
I actually don't like matcha.
Okay.
The only time I enjoy it is during a tea ceremony, but that may be because my body is so broken. Any sort of sustenance, even in the form of a bitter, sludgy tea, is welcome. But no, typically I don't care for matcha all that much. What about you?
Yeah, I've sort of had a sort of a shift on matcha as well. I when I first came to Japan, I was all about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, recently I just, if I was gonna go for a sweet thing, I would not reach for matcha. I don't know what it is. It's good, but nothing beats vanilla or chocolate. But
Classics.
I definitely respect matcha, and I know that there are some like big fans of the matcha. I will say of these items that we're looking at here, the one that interested me the most was that Danish as well, because it does look like a shoe cream. It isn't a shoe cream, unfortunately, but it's close enough. I think with that with some stuff inside there, but. In general, yeah, great. I will say, if you've never had matcha things and you come to Japan, definitely check it out because
Oh,
it is. I mean,
absolutely.
it's one of the classic, sweet flavors that you're gonna find. And yeah, if you can pair it, if you can pair it with a or not pair it, if you can actually have like a tea ceremony with actual green or matcha, that's really great. And then pair that with some traditional Japanese sweets. I think that's maybe your best bet. And in that sense, I guess the anpan, the matcha whip anpan is maybe closest to like that sort of classic balance of flavors.
Hot tip for anybody who's in Kanazawa who wants a really nice tea dessert action, but not a tea ceremony. Go to the Kanazawa Art Museum, not the 21st Century Modern Museum. Go to the Art Museum, and they have a wonderful, I hope it's still there, but a wonderful private tea room. It's a bar, like 4 seats. You have to reserve it ahead of time, you have to call them, and you have a wonderful 3 or more courses, depending on which one you purchase, of sweets with great teas. I highly recommend that experience.
For sure, yes, that is an awesome place.
All right, Mike, that wraps up the matcha campaign. I think you got one more for us this week.
That's right, Matt. We're going to take a quick look at something we've been talking about a lot, and every time it gets around to this
Boy, oh
season,
boy.
this is the season of cold noodles, Matt. And hiyashi chuka, is pretty much the standard bearer for that. But Matt, they come in all flavors, all sizes.
Sure do.
Matt's Family Mart has the Umasa Tsurumi Hiyashi Men. This is they're going to be releasing each week a new type of cold noodle. And so what we've got coming up first, we got soba on the 10th. We've got chuka men, which is pretty much ramen, on the 17th. And then we've got udon coming on the 24th, Matt. Let's just take a look at these. We got the A.
Oh, classic.
Zaru soba. We got the hiyashi chuka. And then we've got the hiyashi bukkake udon. All of these look great, Matt, but I just have a more sort of general question for you, and actually I'm interested in the listeners as well. Which are you going for here, Matt? Are you a soba guy? Are you a chuka guy? Are you a udon man?
This is one of the great questions out there. First, all of these are fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody should have all of these. They're all very different. Soba, you're going to get that buckwheat flavor from the noodle. Also, very little on the side, usually just some strips of nori. So you're
Oh
really
yeah.
there to enjoy the noodle and the cold dipping sauce. Hiyashi chuka, you're going to get a load of toppings.
Oh yeah.
And that dipping sauce is going to be a lot more highly seasoned.
Yes.
And then the udon, you get the chew of the udon noodle, which is always
Oh
lovely.
yeah.
And I was hoping they would do this, and they did, Mike. They're topping it with some tempura crispies, which is outstanding with the texture there.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
they're all fantastic, but gun to my head, I gotta go with the hiyashi chuka, Mike. In
Okay.
fact, I made homemade hiyashi chuka last night.
Wow.
And yeah, it's easy. It turns out stunning. Nothing better on a hot day than a
Yeah.
bowl of hiyashi chuka from the konbini. It's outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Hiyashi chuka is the one that I'm gonna go for the most, I think, but I'm gonna have to go for that for the zaru soba, Matt. I'm a big
Okay.
fan of
Yeah, sure.
the when we say zaru soba, it means you have the noodles and then you have like the cup of cold broth or tsuyu, and then you dip it in there. I love this, but the only thing this is missing, and I don't think we're gonna get to hear from the konbini, unfortunately, is you add some tempura in there.
Oh, some bitch right there. Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh, no doubt about it.
and you know what you do with that tempura? You can dip it in the sort of like hot tsuyu, the hot broth. That's good too. But what you can also do, you get a little side of salt. And Matt, you can even make that
Oh, interesting.
matcha salt,
Oh,
and then dip that into the soba. Take a bite of that zaru. Hey man, I'm getting excited just thinking about all
the
this.
konbini is really good, but if you are in Japan, it's worthwhile seeking out a shop that does soba or a shop that does udon because the noodle will always be better at the shop than it is at the konbini. And when you get a great noodle, it is really it's a great treat. But the konbini, no doubt about it. Each week, Family Mart last week they did the zaru soba. This week they're doing the hiyashi chuka. The following week they got the udon coming out. So each week you get a new cold noodle coming out at Family Mart. That's exciting stuff right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
All
All
right, Mike.
right.
It's time to head into the Chickie Wars, where we take a look at all the hot, boneless chicken action coming out at the Konbini this week. Mike, we just got one Chickie. This is a Teriyaki Chickie
Yeah.
coming out of Family Mart. Mike, this is not a new product. We've seen the teriyaki chicken steak before.
Yeah.
It's a broiled chickie. As you can see, there's no coating, there's no batter on this thing. This thing's just thrown right under the broiler and cooked until its skin is bubbling, crispy, hot.
Mm.
Teriyaki flavor,
Hey.
hey, I guess, yeah, can't go wrong with that. I'm not too excited about it, Mike, because this is not a new chickie, just Family Mart bringing it back.
Yep. No, not a new chickie. Don't know what's going on here. Teriyaki chicken steak. We've seen it many, many a time. And during the holidays, we see some really exciting, broiled chickens.
Oh,
So,
broiled chicken is good. Yeah.
jeez, Pete. Yeah, so I agree. Look at hey, you're zooming in there though. That does look good, and
It
this is
does.
something we've talked about many a time. You take a bite in there, watch out.
Hold on, I'm getting hungry. I take back everything I said. I would absolutely love. You get that sweet saltiness of the chickie, of the teriyaki flavor there, Mike. It's got that nice brown skin. That's got to be a combo of the expert broiling in the soy sauce that it was marinated in, right?
Yeah, that does look great.
Outstanding, yeah. Hope they serve it with a straw, because that thing's gonna be a juicy boy.
Yes.
All right, Mike. That wraps up the Chickie Wars this week. What do you say we head on over to the new item scoreboard?
Sounds good to me, Matt. All right, so what are we looking at this week, Matt? We've got Family Mart, 52 items, Lawson, 36, 7-Eleven, 90, Mini Stop, 24, Daily Yamazaki, 8, Seiko Mart, 6, and New Days, 20. What do you think?
Nothing special there, Mike. I think we've recovered from the Golden Week hangover. 7-Eleven dipped below the century mark for the first time. Well, actually, they were way below during the Golden Week.
Oh, yeah.
But no, fairly average numbers. These aren't Otani figures here out of the Konbini, which we were just looking at. This guy's incredible.
Phenom.
Phenom.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Matt. Well, hey, let's head over to our winners and losers. I want to see what you've got here to start.
What I picked.
Whoa. I'm tipping. Oh, geez, I'm clicking all around. All right, what do we got for your loser this week?
Yeah, Mike, this was actually featured in the Conveni newsletter from the dumpster segment. Mike, this is out of 7-Eleven. This is a 3 mushroom and bacon sandwich served on multi-grain bread. Mike, we're looking at
Ooh,
you gotta really like mushrooms to be into this. You got maitake, which I like. Maitake mushrooms
like
are
my
very good.
take. Mm-hmm.
You got some eringi mushrooms, which can be a little slimy. I'm not a big fan of those guys. And then you got the shimeji mushrooms, which can also be a little slimy. What I don't like about this, Mike, this is just like a gray blob of
Oh God.
stuff there. Ooh, yeah, don't get too close. And then it's served on a pile of bacon, which I don't know what's going on with this. This is Japanese bacon, so this is not real bacon.
Oh God.
Does that even go together? Sauteed mushrooms and bacon on multigrain bread? There's also no sauce on this, as far as I can tell. And God knows this thing needs sauce. You got a bunch of slimy, sauteed gray mushrooms. And, this is going to be a mess. You take one bite of this.
Oh
Those
God.
mushrooms, it's like an ice rink in there with all that slime. It's going to be toppling all over the place.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were thinking here, Mike.
Mm.
Just this is a terrible item.
This is awful. This is a nightmare to me. This is my nightmare sandwich right
Oh,
here.
yeah, the mushroom guy. Not a
Not a
mushroom
big
man.
mushroom guy. Not a mushroom man. You know, oh God, you were just saying about how this is not a lot of bread, so you probably take a bite. This is all crashing out. It's probably you're taking a bite off the front. It's all crashing in your mouth. So you're gonna take that first bite, and you're gonna
Oh,
get probably just a huge mouthful of unflavored mushrooms. And these aren't. It's not like a
slimy
toasted
mushrooms.
sandwich. Yeah, like
No,
it's
this bread is not toasted.
no, if these were like sautéed and toasted, that'd be a different story. But these are just gonna roll into your mouth, just plop in there, and you're just gonna chomp and just oh jeez, man, awful, awful item. They're saying this has a lot of dietary fiber. I'm sure, probably,
Probably.
probably chew on a belt and get a lot of fiber as well. This is awful, Matt. Great, well, terrible, terrible item, but amazing pickup. All right, Matt, going on to my not loser. This is more of a mystery item here, and I need your
Oh,
help to sort of
okay.
to help me
Aruporuto.
figure out what's going on here, Matt. So what is this? Title.
It's an olive tomato
Aruporito.
pasta.
Yes. Aruporito
This
is
looks good.
produced. This is a apparently like a famous Italian restaurant in Tokyo,
Sure.
and it's the chef's sort of choice olive and tomato pasta. Sounds great.
It does.
So this is apparently a pasta with a tomato-based pasta with tuna, tomato, sliced olives, and capers. All right, that sounds pretty cool. But Matt, I'm zooming in here, and it's very difficult for me to understand what is going on here. Let me describe that.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like ground beef.
Yes, it looks like ground beef. There's a few olives in the middle. There's a few capers. There's a few little slices of tomato shell or skin.
Yep.
Then there's a big sort of dusting of what looks like ground beef. I guess maybe that's the tuna. I don't know. And then it almost looks like a hard shell. I know this is supposed to be tomato paste or pasta sauce,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It almost looks like a hard shell. Almost looks like some sort of weird okonomiyaki. I don't know what type of pasta's in there. It's hard to tell. It's probably, if they're saying it's pasta, I'm guessing it's spaghetti style noodles. Um, so yeah, Matt, I was hoping you could help me. I'm not saying this is a loser. This is probably good, but I'm just hoping you could help me sort of solve this mystery. What exactly is going on here?
Well, Mike, I'm having a bit of a. I was just on this restaurant's website. If I could just share
Sure.
briefly, this
Okay.
is what they're actually serving at the restaurant, and so this is a beautiful pile of pasta.
Mm.
You can see what all the ingredients are,
Yeah.
and then to just go back to the 7-Eleven item there real quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that 7-Eleven didn't quite hit the mark on the presentation there. Sort of a stark. My tab game's off today.
All right. All right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know, Mike. Yeah, this brown. I mean, this stuff. It looks like sawdust. That's kind of throwing
Yeah.
me off. I see. I see olives. You're gonna call this an olive tomato pasta? You gave me more than 2 slices of olive. There aren't even whole olives in this thing.
Right.
Um, Indeed, this thing looks like it's sauced to hell here around the edge, or is that some kind of crispy tortilla?
Right.
Yeah, that could, maybe it's a foldable thing there.
Okay,
And I think
interesting.
it does say tuna, oh, olive. I thought that said other. If it was tuna, other, and tomato, this would make a lot more sense. Yeah, Mike, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this one, and I want to like it because I've recently gotten back into Italian cuisine thanks to Mario Batali, who was just acquitted of sexual assault charges. He was
Oh,
on
good.
trial here in Boston, and triggered me to watch some old Malto Mario episodes on YouTube. And it's unfortunate that such a good show was produced by, I guess, somebody who's anyway.
Not, yeah.
Anyway, I want to like this, Mike, but yeah, this is definitely struggling here. This dish.
Not sure what's going on. Not sure what's going on. All right, Matt. So enough with that. Let's head over to our winners for this week. So, Matt, what are we looking at? Hey.
This was also featured in the newsletter, Mike. We're looking at drinkable Pinot, addictive almond flavor, Yamitsuki Amando. Everybody knows Pinot, Mike. These are the lovely bite-sized ice creams. They come in their little chocolate shelled ice creams, and here we have the almond flavor, Mike. But 7-Eleven is not just releasing in classic Pinot ice cream form, they're also releasing it as a beverage. So we can now drink Pinot, Mike. I'll tell you, you know, if you can't find me, chances are I'm under a nearby underpass with about 80 of these guys just empty surrounding me, you know. This looks outstanding. Drinkable Pinot.
Sounds great. We've featured many drinkable things.
Drinkable Pablo cheese tart, for instance.
Cheese tart. We had a drinkable shoe cream, didn't we? We had a drinkable ice cream. We had a bunch, but they always I'm always a little bit questionable because you just kind of wonder like, what is this actually going to taste like? Whereas with the Pinot, it's very simple because Pinot is so simple. You just have that vanilla ice cream,
Absolutely.
and then you have that nice shell of whatever flavor it's going to be. In this case, almond. I agree, Matt. What an item, and one that you would definitely pick up if you went in. Recently, as I said, like I've been taking Leo once a week or twice a week to the Combini to pick up an ice cream, and he actually picked up Pinot for the first time the other day. Yeah, big step.
Kid's learning fast, isn't he?
He's learning it fast. Yeah.
How did he like the Pinot?
Oh, he loved it. The only thing he didn't like is that, it went so fast. There's only a couple of
I
them.
was just about to say, yeah, there's never enough Pinot in that damn box.
Yeah. So maybe I'll have to get him one of these instead of his apple juice. He can just start drinking on these guys.
There we
Matt.
go. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's gonna weigh 300 pounds.
I know it's bad. He now says like, when I say like, what are we gonna eat it? What are we gonna get at the Combini? He says, ice cream, beer, and chicken. So I'm not even kidding. I said, what do you want to get? Ice cream, beer, chicken. So, all right, Matt.
Already a true master.
That's right. Okay, going on to my winner this week. This one is more about the presentation than the item itself. Matt, this is the Kaiju Sakaba. Kaiju, as you know, are famous like monsters in Japanese entertainment, like Godzilla and those. But one of the more famous Kaiju series is Ultraman. And I always really just love the Ultraman sort of aesthetic, very like Showa or sort of like classic, like that era Japan. And with just the wackiest kaiju, the wackiest monsters you've ever seen. This is Barutan, who's I guess a famous guy. And anyways, it's a can of it's a chuhai. It's a sour. and it's featuring the different flavors feature the different monsters from Ultraman. And it has a very sort of like Ultraman design to it. And so this one is actually a cola sour. I don't know about the actual taste. The other one I saw actually was like energy drink sour. So I don't know if they're picking the best. Four Loko, yeah. They're not picking the best flavors, but the design was really cool, and I like they're calling this the the Sakaba, so it's the monster bar basically, or something like that. It coincides with Shin Ultraman, the new Ultraman movie just came out, so it's pretty obvious what's going on here. But I just thought it was cool. Very, very. I love the can. That was my winner for this week.
Can is awesome. Japanese can design is decades ahead of American can design, and they could put any one of these cans. This one's especially awesome because it's got, Kaiju, the Jukan, so that's a very cool kanji character. But then it's got this badass. Is that Ultraman? I don't even know what Ultraman is. In the back, what is that? Looks like a bird.
It's Barutan. I think he's a. Hold on, hold on. Barutan. Hold on here, everybody. Barutan.
That's
Barutan.
Looks like a
Seijin. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Alien Barutan.
Jesus, this thing is.
This guy's a classic.
Oh my God, looks like Sub-Zero had sex with a lobster. Oh my God.
He's a lobster, yes.
So, got this badass creature on this can, which is some cool kanji. You could put this in any American liquor store. Who would not buy this? Looks way better, especially than the really crappy alcoholic seltzer cans that are out there. They're terrible. God. In fact, I think you wouldn't even need to translate this. Eventually, Americans would come to learn those two katakana characters, sa, wa, dash. Sawa. How hard is this?
Yeah.
I think, just stop doing the... Japan ruins all their marketing in America by changing the labels. Just keep the labels. Just keep the labels. It's so cool.
It's so cool. People love kanji.
Oh my God.
This is something we've been talking about for years, by the way. And, all right, Matt. So that's my winner for this week. And that wraps up the scoreboard and the winners and losers.
All right, that means it's on to my favorite segment of the week. That's At the Gemba with Mike. The Gemba, of course, the place where the action happens. Mike, you're at the Gemba. What do you got for us this week?
Matt, I actually, for the first time in a long time, I went to the Konbini for lunch the other day, and I was feeling hot. I was feeling lucky, so I actually picked up a couple things that, I haven't gotten recent, or just wouldn't have gotten recent, or because recently I've been going at night, and I get my chuhai, I get my beer, I get my chicken, and I get that ice cream. So, anyways, it was fun. And I picked up a couple things that we've like looked at for a while. First one I got is the Spam Musubi.
Lord.
This one's been pretty popular, right up there. Every time you go to get the onigiris, this is it's a big onigiri. It's almost like an onigiri sandwich that has spam and then egg, and then it's tuna mayo.
I think it's got tuna mayonnaise in there too.
Tuna mayo. Yeah, I think this might have been your loser like a long time ago, or one of our losers or something. Anyways, I gave it a try, and it's not pulling any punches. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just got some rice in that nori wrapper.
Sure.
You got that ham. You've got this like very, very processed egg. I mean, it's
that looks closer to American cheese than it does egg.
Yes, it's very strange egg, and then you have that tuna mayo on top of there. Strange. I would have liked in hindsight, I would have just liked just spam, just rice and spam.
Spam. So the spam was the highlight.
Spam was a highlight for me. Otherwise, just not great.
Are you a spam man?
I'm a spam man. I'm a spam man. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Yeah, I don't think I've really. I mean, I had it this time, and I've had it before, but like, I always thought spam always had that bad connotation. I think from Monty Python they made that like spam, and I always thought, oh, spam's kind of laughing stock of food. So
Well, it's ham in a can.
ham in a can. Yeah. All right, Matt. But one more, and I, wasn't expecting much from this, but my winner from last week, Matt.
That looks great. Still looks good.
My winner from last week, khao man gai. That's a Thai-style chicken over rice salad.
I believe this was good.
Matt, I'm very sad to tell you that this,
dear Lord.
not only was this not great, and I should have known by the price of 276 yen. Matt, this thing was like a thimble. This is like, it was miniature. I mean,
Like a mini stop Sunday.
Like a mini stop Sunday. This thing was teeny. And it had, so you kind of mix it up. You're supposed to like mix it up. But it was so small that it had that sort of quality of like, you remember like you go to those okonomiyaki places and for some reason they give you the mix and it's in this bowl that barely holds it. And so it takes great technique to like keep everything from not falling out while you're mixing up. That was that same sort of stressful experience for me.
It didn't have a lid that you could shake it with. You can throw a lid on there, shake it up.
Oh.
It says mazeru though, which is
it does.
That's stir.
It did have a lid, and I should have thought of that. But anyways, I was stirring it up, and then it just wasn't great. Unfortunately, it didn't really have much Thai.
Really?
Yeah, it was okay. You had the coriander, the pakchi, but which it looks like a bunch of it, but it was only like a few little bits. The rest is kind of lettuce. The sauce, I don't really know what kind of sauce that was. The chicken was okay, and the rice was okay, but otherwise, unfortunately, not great. And I'm kind of kicking myself for picking this as the winner after not sort of like really taking some time to think, sort of piece together the price and like everything like that.
That is disappointing. I mean, this looks bright, beautiful, and Thai food usually packs a ton of flavor. So,
Exactly.
And then to get it, I get that thimble serving with the expectation that you have to mix. That's tough, Mike. You can't. That's a terrible user experience.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we can get some tech guys on that to update that UX there for the khao man gai out of Family Mart.
Yeah, and then they'll just, take 30% off the top.
Right off the top, yeah, 30%. All right. So that wraps up episode 87. Wow, Mike.
88.
Thanks.
88.
Oh, damn. Thanks, everybody, for listening. A special thanks to everybody who's purchased a chickie for us. Carrie G. St. Michel, 20 chickies, MH Bongo, 18 chickies, Professor H, 6, Matt D, 3, Antonio 8, 3, Crew Japan 2, Devon Pine, Bobby Gito, Anonymous, and Anonymous. Thank you for supporting the podcast. And a big shout out again to Carrie G. St. Michel. She signed up for the Conbini Master Annual Subscription Package on the new newsletter. It was $100 right there. I never thought somebody would buy that. Thank you to Patrick St. Michel's mom there.
Thank you.
Big shout out. And MH Bongo for also signing up for the annual subscription with we have no credibility. We published 2 of these. He thinks we're actually going to publish 52 this year. Hopefully we do. A lot of good engagement. We have some good growth over the past week. If you haven't checked out the newsletter, check it out, conbiniboys.substack.com. Weekly Conbini newsletter. It gives you a game plan, a roadmap for how to attack the Conbini, new items the following week. So it comes out on Saturday. New items hit the shelves on Tuesday. You got 3 full days to plan. We give you the roadmap to do just that. All right. Please share, rate the podcast, all that stuff. YouTube, like, comment, whatever. And join the convo on Twitter. Otherwise, thanks everybody for listening. And Mike, hey, I'll see you at the Conbini.
See you at the Conbini, Matt.